This is one of a short series of videos on just recapping very basic topics in mathematics, topics from school days. Sometimes school days are a long time ago and we tend to forget what we were taught, but sometimes it's also useful to know that. So given you've worked on it in the past in school, we might as well bring it back to the front of your head and have it ready, just in case we ever need it in our studies here. The topics are very straightforward and very basic, but they are important, and that's why we do it. If you feel that you're completely happy with your knowledge of multiplying in algebra, then forget this video, just turn it off and do something else. But if you feel that you'd just like to bring it back to mind, then we'll go through a few examples here to try and refresh your memory. So let's have a look at it and let's deal with it. We're going to start by multiplying these two quantities here, 2x plus 3. X is some number. We don't know what the number is. X could be any number really, but just it's x. It's a number. It's like a secret number. We don't know. It's just 2x plus 3. And we're going to multiply that by 3x minus 1. Now the first thing you note here is, I'll put the cursor onto the screen, basic cursor. We've got the x's lined up here, one under the other. It's always good practice, because otherwise you're going to get confused. So just line them up. When you do that, now multiply by the first one, the 3x here. So just forget the minus 1, just 3x. Concentrate on the 3x. Now 3x times 2x, well 3 times 2 is 6. X times x is x squared. So it's 6x squared plus, there's the plus sign. 3x times 3, well 3 3s are 9. That'd be 9x. So we've done the first term here, 3x. We now need to do the minus 1. The minus 1 is minus 1 times plus 2x, so it's minus 2x. There it is. And plus 3 times minus 1, well that's minus 3. 1 times 3 is 3, so it's minus 3. Now add it all together, we get 6x squared, 9x plus minus 2x, 7x, and 3x plus minus 3x, minus 3 I should say, sorry, minus 3, add on nothing, it's just minus 3. A way of writing this, instead of doing it that way, is to put it in brackets. 2x plus 3, put a bracket, put another bracket. If the brackets touch, it means multiply. Like here, we're just about touching, so it means multiply. So the second one is 3x minus 1, and put that inside the bracket, close the bracket. Now we've got this term, 2x plus 3, times 3x minus 1. So instead of writing it that way, we could write it this way. We know what the answer here is, 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. There it is. Sometimes when you're at school, the teacher might have given you something like this and asked you to find the factors. Find two quantities multiplied together that will equal to that. That would be quite a difficult one to do. I'm not going to do it here, but it would be quite difficult. But we're going to say it's actually, in our case, very simple. It's just 2x plus 3 times 3x minus 1. That's a factor, and that's a factor. Two factors, when we multiply together, gives us this one here, 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. X plus 1 times x minus 1. This is quite famous, this one. I'll tell you why at the end. Again, they're all nicely lined up, x under the x and so on. So we'll multiply by x. X times x, x squared. 1 times x is x plus x. So it's x squared plus x. Now we need to multiply out by the minus 1. So it's minus 1 times x minus x plus 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Add the 2 up, we've got x squared plus nothing is just x squared, plus x minus x added together, they cancel out, come to 0. So it's nothing there. And minus 1, nothing up here, so it's just minus 1. So the answer is x squared minus 1. In other words, x plus 1 times x minus 1 is equal to x squared minus 1. I said to you it's actually quite famous, that one, because the x is squared, so it's x times x. But oddly enough, 1 is squared as well, because 1 times 1 is 1. That's squared. So sometimes we say the difference between two squares, that's a square, that's a square. The difference between two squares is the product of their sum and difference. So often you hear mathematics teachers saying, well, the difference between two squares is the product of their sum and difference, and there it is. Let's do quite a big one, and these are the sort of questions that school children do not like, I think. But you just get, you can get mixed up very easily and get the signs mixed up, and it just gets a bit messy. I've just lined it all up here as much as I can. I've got an x cubed on the top and an x squared under it. It's not ideal. I should really probably have put the x squared under here, but we'll see how it goes. First of all, multiply by the x squared. Well, x squared times x cubed is x to the power of 5. There. X squared times plus 2x squared is 2x to the power of 4. There. And x squared times minus 3 is minus 3x squared. There. Now multiply by the minus x in here. So x cubed times minus x is minus x to the power of 4. There. Next, minus x times plus 2x squared. Well, x times the squared is x cubed. Plus times minus is minus 2x cubed. There it is, minus 2x cubed. There. And lastly, minus x times minus 3. Well, minus times minus is a plus. So 3x, well, it's 3x. It's there. Now add it all up. Well, we have x to the power of 5 plus nothing is x to the power of 5. 2x to the power of 4 minus x to the power of 4 is just plus x to the power of 4. You take away one of them, you're left with 1 x to the power of 4 because one's been taken away. When you add this, you just get it back because you're adding it to nothing. So nothing plus that leaves it where it is. The same over here. Minus 3x squared plus nothing is just minus 3x squared. And the same over here. Plus 3x plus nothing is 3x. So that's, it doesn't look very nice. It looks complicated, but it's actually very, very simple. We're just following the rules of arithmetic. Basic multiplication. We could take this term up here and put it into a bracket like that, times this one here, put that into a bracket, and then write it down, and we've got that. So all of that calculation just tells us how to multiply in algebra. And as you can see, providing you take your time and think about each step, it is very straightforward. You're just multiplying each term, being careful about any index numbers or exponents, power numbers if you like, just making sure you've got those right, and watching out for minuses and pluses. So that's multiplying in algebra. It's quite straightforward. If it comes back to you from school days, that's good. You won't need a lot of it on a business course, but sometimes we do bump into it from time to time, and it's just best to know it. It's knowledge is not heavy to carry around, so it's good. That's all we're going to deal with here, so let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.